Hello, everyone. This is Steve Ritz, the host of Sports Talk with RKJ, and I am here for your week preview of Week 4 in the NFL. So we'll start with the Eagles and the Packers, and that is a big game, especially a huge game for the Eagles, because the Eagles started the season at 1-2, and they've been really banged up and really have had a lot of injuries and have been unable to really help Carson Wentz so far. I mean, Alshon Jeffrey and Nelson Aguilar got hurt in week. Nelson Aguilar and Alshon Jeffrey got hurt in week 2, and then in week 3, both of them were not able to play, and that really hurt the Eagles because they dropped 7 passes. Nelson Aguilar was absolutely terrible, dropping 7 passes, and the Eagles lost that game 27-24. And the thing about Carson Wentz right now is, if you want to be that top 5 quarterback in the league, yes, there was a drop pass in the Atlanta game by Nelson Aguilar. You got to drive your team down the field and you got to score that touchdown. I mean, that's got to be done if the Eagles want to be a great team this season. You got to drive your team, especially after a block field. You got to drive your team down the field and score that touchdown. But for the game this week, I think you look at the Green Bay Packers. Their defense has been much improved with Preston Smith, with Zadarius Smith, with Adrian Amos, with Jari Alexander and Darnell Savage on the back end. So I mean, the defense has definitely been improved. So I think that the Packers have a very, very good shot at winning this game, and I think they win this game. I think the Eagles stay competitive. I think they run the football with Miles Sanders and they run the football with Jordan Howard. But at the end of the day, I think the Eagles win this game, and I got the Eagles winning this game by a score of 31. I got the Eagles winning this game by a score of 31-24. I mean, I got the Packers winning this game by a score of 31-24 in Lambeau Field this week. I think Aaron Rodgers gets on the same page with his offense. I think he attacks this Eagles secondary that has really struggled. And I think the Eagles are going to struggle getting pressure on the quarterback because they've struggled getting pressure on the quarterback the first 3 weeks of the season with Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. So I got the Eagles winning this game 31-24. No, I mean, I got the Packers winning this game 31-24 in Green Bay this week. We got a matchup between the Pats and the Bills this week. It's both 2-3-0 teams going up against each other. You look at the Bills right now; their defense is a top 10 defense in the NFL with Tremaine Edmonds, with Tre'Davious White, and Jerry Hughes and Ed Oliver. I think their defense has played really well. I think offensively, Josh Allen has played decent, has made the big plays when he's had to. He had that big touchdown drive against the that huge touchdown drive against the Jets, and that big touchdown drive against the Bengals to win the game. And I think that the Bills, I think Josh Allen gets his yards on the ground, but I think eventually it's going to come down to Tom Brady making more plays than Josh Allen. I think the Patriots defense, who's number 1 in total defense right now. Yes, they haven't really played anyone that good, but they're number 1 in total defense right now, and they make enough plays and they win this game. I got the Patriots winning this game 24-16 over the Bills. Patrick Mahomes comes to Detroit as the Chiefs visit the 3-0 Chiefs visit the 2-0-1 Lions. I think that Mahomes, the beat goes on for Mahomes. He continues to play outstanding. I think he has a great game, and I think that the Chiefs end up winning this game. I think Patrick Mahomes plays great. I think that the Chiefs get pressure on Matthew Stafford. I think they get the run game going with Kerryon Johnson and CJ Anderson. But at the end of the day, I think Patrick Mahomes outplays Matthew Stafford, and I think the Chiefs win. And I got the Chiefs winning this game 34-24 Sunday afternoon in Detroit. A big AFC North matchup as the Browns travel to Baltimore to face the Ravens, and that's going to be a big game. But I think the Ravens, the good part of the Ravens is they know who they are on offense. Even down 23-6 last week in Kansas City, the Ravens were able to continue to do what they do best, and that was running the football. And the Ravens did a really, really good job running the football. I think that was a huge key for the Ravens. I think they did a great job doing that, and I think they succeeded doing that. I think even though they lost that game to the Chiefs, I think they were able to have a lot of success running the football, and they know what their identity is. And the Browns are a team that really doesn't know what their identity is. I think they're in 11 personnel all the time, and they need to get out of 11 personnel. I think they need to start, doing what gave them. Freddie Kitchen needs to start doing look at where this team had success last year. That was with 2 tight ends, getting the running game going, having Mayfield have success off play action, but they're not doing that. They're in 11 personnel a lot, and I think I'll go with the team that knows who they are, and that's the Ravens. I think the Ravens win this game. I think they win this game big. I think the Browns struggle to stop the run, and I think the Ravens win this game big. I got the Ravens beating the Browns 31-20 in Baltimore on Sunday. The Panthers travel to Houston to face the Texans this week, and this is a game where the Panthers will be without Cam Newton. They won last week without Cam Newton, but I think this week it'll be a different story. I think Houston will contain Christian McCaffrey. I think that Houston will get pressure on Kyle Allen. I think Kyle Allen will struggle this week, unlike he did the previous week. I think that the Texans are. I think the Texans are going to win this game. I think they're going to win it by double digits. I think, yes, the Panthers will get pressure on Deshaun Watson, but I think Deshaun Watson is going to have a really, really, really big week for the Panthers, and he's going to play really well. And I think that's why the Panthers end up winning this game. And I got the Panthers. That's why I got the Texans winning this game. I got the Texans winning it. I got the Texans beating the Panthers this week, and I got them winning the game 27-14 at home. I got the Texans going to 3-1. We got the Raiders heading to Indy to face the Colts this week, and T.Y. Hilton might not play for the Colts, but I still think the Colts are going to be able to move the ball on offense with Marlon Mack. I think Jacoby Brissett's going to have a big game as well. I think the Raider defense is improved a little, but not where it needs to be. And I think that it's going to be I think that the Raiders are going to be able to move the ball on the Colts. I think Derek Carr will have a good game, and Josh Jacobs will have a good game, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Brissett will make a little bit more plays in the passing game than Derek Carr will, and I think I got the Colts winning this game, and I got them winning it 27-20 in Indianapolis on Sunday. The Redskins travel to MetLife Stadium to face the Giants this week, and this should be a battle between the 2 rookie quarterbacks, Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins, but Jay Gruden does not want that to happen. He's still going to start Case Keenum, and I think the Redskins will have the most success as they've had all year running on the ground. I think Chris Thompson and Adrian Peterson won't have huge games, but they'll have decent games. I think Daniel Jones will attack a Redskins secondary that has struggled. I think Coleman will do enough on the ground, but I think Jones attacks a Redskins secondary that has definitely struggled so far this year. Josh Norman's up to a rough start. Landon Collins has struggled in coverage. So I think that the Giants will be able to move the ball that way. I think Case Keenum will make some plays, but I think Daniel Jones makes more plays and makes less mistakes. And I got the Giants winning this game, and I got them winning it 24-20 to make Daniel Jones 2-0 as a starter. My upset of the week is I got the Titans beating the Falcons in Atlanta. The Titans are getting 4 points this week in Atlanta against the Falcons, and I got the Titans winning this game. And I got to win in a close one. I think that Derrick Henry, I think the Falcons have really struggled to stop the run. Keanu Neal is out for the season, and I think Derrick Henry has a huge day. I think he has a huge day on the ground for the Titans. I think he does an outstanding. I think he has a really good game, and I think that helps Mariota off play action to get the ball to Corey Davis and get the ball to A.J. Brown. I think that's and Delaney Walker, and it's going to help Marcus Mariota. And on the flip side, I think Matt Ryan, yes, he played well last week, but he's definitely struggled this year, and I think he continues to struggle. I think it gets down to the end. I think it gets down to the end of the game where he throws a late game interception, and I got the Titans winning. I got the Titans winning this game in an upset, 23-20 over the Falcons. The Chargers head to Miami to face the Dolphins this week, and they're a 16.5-point favorite. I actually personally don't think they cover this spread. I think that the Dolphins the Dolphins play really, really well with this team. I think the Dolphins stay in the game early, but I think the Dolphins show up, and I think the Dolphins hang in early, but I think eventually the Chargers will definitely pull away. I think the Dolphins at the beginning of the game will get pressure on Phillip Rivers. The offensive line has struggled, but I think eventually that Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson will be able to run the ball. I think the pressure that Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa put on Josh Rosen is going to be the difference, and I got the Chargers pulling away in this game, and I got them winning it 20. I got them winning it. I got them winning at 27-13 in Miami this week. we'll go to the 4:00 games, and the Vikings head to Chicago to play the Bears. And I think this is going to be you got Dalvin Cook, who is leading the NFL in rushing yards. He's had a huge year running the football. And I think but he's facing the number one run defense in football with Akeem Hicks, who might be out for this game, Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, Danny Trevathan. I think this run defense is the best run defense in the NFL, and I think they're going to contain Dalvin Cook, and they're going to get pressure. I think Khalil Mack's going to have a huge day. Him and Leonard Floyd are going to have huge days getting pressure on Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins does not play well in big games. He was 0-2 against the Bears last year. I think he goes to 0-3 against the Bears. I think he has a tough game, and I think the Bears end up winning this game. I think on defense they can, and I think on the offensive side of the ball, I think they do enough. I think David Montgomery doesn't have a huge day, but he has enough rushing yards. I think Mitchell Trubisky makes enough plays in the game. I think this is a low-scoring game in Chicago, but I got the Bears beating the Vikings in this game, and I got them winning this game 17-13 Sunday afternoon in Chicago. The 1-2 Jags head to Denver to face the Broncos, and I think that in this game, Von Miller showed signs of being back last week. Yes, he didn't have any sacks, but he played well against the Packers last week. I think he did a good job getting pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and I think that the Broncos continue to get their running game going with Phillip Lindsay and Royce Freeman. I think they get enough rushing yards, and I think defensively they hold the Jaguars. I think Fournette gets his yards, but I think they get pressure on Gardner Minshew. Obviously the Jaguars will get pressure on Joe Flacco too. That's why I think this is going to be a low scoring game. But ultimately, I think the Broncos get their first win at home this Sunday. I got them winning 17-10 against the Jaguars. The Bucks travel to Los Angeles to face the Rams this week, and looking at Todd Gurley last week, I'm wondering if he's really 100%. He's really struggled to run the football. I think that's something he's really struggled to do. I think that he has really I think he's struggled to run the ball. But I mean, I think that the Rams will still end up winning this game. I think yes, there will be pressure on there'll be pressure on Jared Goff. But I think he's going to make plays to Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, and that's going to be the difference. And I think on the other side of the ball, I think the Bucs have a little bit of success running the ball, but I think the pressure on Jameis Winston, Dante Fowler is going to put on him is going to force him to make mistakes. You saw last week Winston could not hold an 18-point lead. He started to play conservative in the second half, and I got the Rams winning this game, and I got them winning it 28-17 over the Bucs on Sunday. The Seahawks head to Arizona to face the Cardinals, and I think in this game it's going to be pretty interesting. I think that the Seahawks are going to. I think that the Seahawks are. This is going to be a really close game. I think the Seahawks are going to be able to have success running the football. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things in this game for them. I think they're going to be able to run. Chris Carson and Rashad Penny are going to run for over 100 yards in this game for them. And I think Kyler Murray is going to make plays. He'll be under pressure, but I think he's going to make plays against Seattle's secondary. I think this is going to be a really close, competitive game. But at the end of the day, I think Russell Wilson has a game-winning drive to win this game. And I got the Seahawks beating the Cardinals this week in Arizona, and I got them winning this game 31-28 over the Cardinals. We'll go to the Sunday night game where the Cowboys face the Saints, and the Cowboys have a golden opportunity. Looking at the NFC standings right now, they have a huge chance to get at least a 2-game lead in the NFC East and get a 3-game lead over the Eagles, seeing that the Eagles play the Packers on Thursday night. You got the Cowboys going to New Orleans to face the Saints without Drew Brees. Yes, the Saints put up 33 points, but they really put up 20 points because they really put up 20 points because one of their touchdowns was on a fumble recovery for a touchdown last week. Another one of their touchdowns on a punt return for a touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater is very, very conservative, I think, and Sheldon Rankins may not play. So I think that Ezekiel Elliott does a good job running the football. I think that Dak Prescott makes plays in the passing game. And I think Bridgewater makes plays, but not enough plays. And I think the Cowboys ultimately win this game. I got the Cowboys going to New Orleans, going to 4-0, and winning this game 24-21 in New Orleans, which should set up the 4-0 Packers against the 4-0 Cowboys at Jerry World next Sunday at 4:25. That should, and we'll get to that. If both teams win, that'll be an outstanding matchup. Even if they both don't win, it'll still be an outstanding matchup in Week 5. We'll wrap up the show talking about the Bengals and the Steelers. And this is going to be Mason Rudolph did not play well in the first half last week. He was definitely better in the second half of that game, and I think you'll see a combination of both this week against the Bengals. I think the Bengals are gonna key in on James Conner, force Mason Rudolph to beat him. I think he'll make some plays, some mistakes. I think the same thing with the Bengals. I think that the Steelers secondary has definitely struggled so far this year. I think that Andy Dalton will be throwing the ball to John Ross and Tyler Boyd, but I think the difference in this game is going to be protection. I think the Bengals are going to struggle to protect Andy Dalton. I think TJ Watt's going to get pressure. I think Stephon Tuitt's going to get pressure. I think Cam Hayward's going to get pressure. I think that's ultimately going to be the difference in this game, and that's why I got the Steelers winning this game. I got the Steelers winning it 21-16 on Monday night in Pittsburgh. So that's going to wrap it up for our Week 4 preview. I'll be dropping this video at around I'd say 12:15, between 12:15 and 12:30. So I hope you tune in, we'll be back next week to do for another edition of Sports Talk with RKJ next week, and we'll be talking Week 5 of the NFL season, Week 6 of the college football season, and we'll be talking the start of the baseball playoffs. So we hope you listen to both shows today. I got this show is going to be up on my Facebook page around 12:15, 12:30, and our big show we did today is going to be up at 5. I'm going to drop that at 5 o'clock. So we hope you listen to both shows, and have a great day, everybody.